Welcome to Jaztime.com. Jaztime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. We offer our lowest prices anywhere online. If you want to know the price of the watch, simply click on the links in the description below. We'd greatly appreciate it if you buy a watch from Jaztime.com once in a while. Today we'll be reviewing the Rolex Day-Date 36. This is the model number 128235. We'll be going over the dial, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. So jumping right into the dial configuration I currently have in my hand here is the diamond hour markers fashioned in 18 karat ever rose gold. The dial color being a rose colored dial. You can see very beautiful sunburst feature, so you can see the sort of different tones of coloration from highlights of that rose to shadows of the rose as well, contrasting very nicely against each other. As you kind of see as I tilted against the light here, you can see it sort of revolves around the dial, so a very beautiful sunburst feature on that dial. But besides that, if you're not interested in the rose colored dial, then you're also able to get this watch in the chocolate dial, as well as most typical Rolex watches has the chocolate style dial. But besides that, those are the only two options you have for this Day-Date 36 in terms of ever rose gold. So you have this beautiful rose sunburst dial, or you have the chocolate dial. The only other configurations you can get for this watch, this only comes on the diamond hour markers, so you only can go. So this is actually one of the base models for this line of model. But if you're looking for more configurations, like I said, dial colors, but then you can also change out the bracelet, the center links of the bracelet, to a pave diamond, and also you can pave diamond the face of the watch with gem set hour markers, and also mother of pearl as a different option as well. And it has one of the newer models, rather newer colors released with the Rolex watches is now the turquoise style, which is absolutely beautiful dial. If you're interested in how the turquoise looks, I don't have a video specifically for this watch, but check out the newly released Oyster Perpetual line. We have a review of the 36mm version in the turquoise, and that's the I believe the 126,000, so 126000. And you can take a look at that. But anyways, besides that, this Day-Date follows typical Day-Date architecture of having the day at the 12 o'clock position, date at the 3 o'clock position, Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal for magnification and easier viewing of that day. Once again, as I mentioned, ever rose gold fashioning for the hour markers. There's no luminosity in these hour markers. We have a baguette diamond for the 6 and 9 o'clock position for landmarking, easier viewing of the time at a glance. And of course, we have the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date name at the 12 o'clock right underneath the crown logo, and the superlative chronometer officially certified at the 6 o'clock position, which I'll zoom in so you can take a closer look at that. So beautiful dial overall, but also very simple dial structure itself. One thing to also mention is we do have the railroading at the very outer edge of the dial as well. And that should sort of give a nice little contrast to the face of the watch, as I believe some of the older style dates just used to have this railroading tracks around the outer edge of the dial, but some were actually some of the newer models actually removed that sort of railroading. All right, so moving on to the bezel now. The bezel is just a simple fluted bezel in a nice mirror high polish. This is 18 karat ever rose gold. The ever rose gold is of course prominent on the whole watch, from the case, bezel, fashioning of the hour markers, and on the bracelet. And that ever rose gold is actually in-house made by Rolex. It's their own version of rose gold, as you'll probably hear different versions from different brands, such as I think in Panerai uses a red gold. But Rolex calls theirs ever rose gold mainly because they do an additional mixture of platinum into the rose gold to keep this rose gold coloration throughout its lifetime, whereas some other brands, they do their rose gold and theirs might shine a little bit more reddish than what you see reddish than Rolex's, but those do fade over time, whereas Rolex, this color will stay throughout its lifetime. All right, moving on to the case now. The case is a 36mm case, as the name suggests, Day-Date 36. So 36mm is from my index finger to my thumb. That's 36mm in diameter. Side profile of the watch, you can see very beautiful high polish. It is a little bit larger of a case size in terms of just in general, just because the complication or the movement is a little bit different. Of course, it has to have the additional functions of the day and the date. So we'll have that little bit larger case size to have those additional complications and being able to use them, which I'll show you here in a sec. But you can see, still doesn't set too high. Wouldn't sit too high off the wrist, so you can fit this on the suit cuff, dress cuffs very nicely. You can see very beautiful high polish matching with the size of the bracelet, and on the other side as well. You have the case, high polish on the side of the case, high polish on the bracelet, Rolex crown logo on the crown itself with 2 dot indices right underneath that, indicating that this watch is a twin lock double waterproofness system. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the crown functions now. Here located at the 3 o'clock position, we're going to unwind that counterclockwise as shown. In the standard position is where you can wind the watch. About 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get the watch started once more. Pulling the crown out to the next position will allow you to adjust the date at the 3 o'clock position by going clockwise, and then the day by going counterclockwise at the 12 o'clock position. So very easy to use and very easy to adjust on the fly. Pulling the crown out to the next position, we'll stop that second hand. As you see, I've stopped it just after the 7 o'clock position, and you'll be able to adjust the hands bi-directionally to set the time however you like. I'm just going to set it back to the 10 and 2 here. The stopping the second hand is started once more by pressing the crown in against the case, and always make sure to screw the crown nice and tight in against the case, as you want to keep your watch water resistant. Specifically for this Day-Date watch, you're looking at 100 meters or 330 feet. Moving on to the bracelet now. As you can see, very beautiful bracelet. This is a dress watch. If you didn't notice already, just being a very flashy watch, being in the full Everose gold. I forgot to mention, it has a very beautiful high polish on the lugs of the case as well. And then we go on to the bracelet, where we get usage of the nice brush finish on the outer of the 3-piece links. This is a president style bracelet, which is sort of like in between the Oyster and Jubilee, if they came together. You have 3-piece style links. They're semicircular links, as you can see. They're half a circle. And then we have the brush finish on the outer of the 3-piece links, mirror polish down the center, and you can see that pattern continues throughout. This little Rolex logo on the bracelet itself is actually where the clasp is located. I want to show you the other side of the bracelet as well. As you can see, mirror finish, brush finish, contrasting very nicely to bring the best out of each other. Of course, we have tapering from the first links down to keep a proportional view of the watch overall. As you can see, as I pull it back a little bit, Rolex watch is always having that nice tapering. And then we move on to the clasp now. So once again, we locate that Rolex crown logo there, and then we're just simply going to open it up as so, revealing these nicely high polished clasp blades. You can take a look at that nice embossing of the Rolex name on that high polished clasp. All right, and closing it up is simple as well. And there we are. So we get this very beautiful continuous nice patterning from nice hidden clasp. It's actually called a concealed folding crown clasp, which is pretty unique in a sense now, because Rolex has sort of been moving away from the concealed folding crown clasp, especially on the Datejust watches, where they've sort of moved on to putting an oyster bracelet. So typically now it's seen on the president style bracelet. So this is your only chance to get them, unless you specifically look for an older style Datejust or something like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the movement now, which is housed in this oyster style case backing. You can see beautiful brush finish on the very top edge of it, and then on the outer edge we have a nice mirror finish all around. The movement itself is a 3255 movement. It's been updated from the previous model, or rather this one didn't have a previous model. The 36 actually came out, I believe, in 2019 or very early 2020. So the 36mm is unique in its own 36mm is unique in its own way, where the Day-Dates used to typically be in a 40mm or 41mm size. I believe the older generation, the Day-Date 2, was in the 41mm. Nowadays we have the Day-Date 40, and then these came out, which are the Day-Date 36s. So giving you Rolex giving you a variety of size choices. But the previous movement was a 3155. Now it's a 3255. And the reason why that is Rolex is, of course, they're trying to manufacture more in-house made parts for their movements, and of course trying to update them to get the best possible movements in their watches. So it's still perpetual mechanical self-winding movement. Once again, 3255 manufactured caliber. It's a precision of -2 + 2 seconds a day. Of course, once again, as they boast about the 6 o'clock position, you can see that superlative chronometer officially certified there. The oscillator is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, which helps in resistance against magnetism. They have a change in shock absorbers, which is the high performance Paraflex shock absorbers, where the previous model used the KIF shock absorbers, which were the industry standard. Now Rolex made their own, and they claim it absorbs 50% more shocks than that industry standard. I believe they moved on to a Chrono G escapement as well, with a skeletonized escapement wheel made out of nickel phosphorus. Nickel phosphorus helps once again with the aiding against resistance against magnetism, and the Chrono G, the escapement itself, being skeletonized, helps with reduction of inertia and keeping precise timekeeping, and helping with energy efficiency overall. The power reserve of this watch is a 70-hour power reserve, meaning you can put this down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening rather, and it'll be keeping time just fine. Now actually, I'll go ahead and show you this watch on my wrist. So once again, locate that crown clasp. Open that up, slide that onto the wrist, and close that up. Simple as that. Very easy to use. As you can see, very beautiful dial, that rose coloration matching very beautifully with the Ever Rose Gold overall. The diamond is just giving a nice little contrast to the face of the watch, also while providing a nice brilliance to it. You can see once again, as I mentioned, the case size is a little bit thicker because of the additional complications of being able to change the day and the date on the same crown function. But as you can see, still doesn't sit too high off the wrist, will fit into the suit cuffs, dress cuffs very nicely, and overall just a very beautiful watch. President style bracelet, of course, the unique style bracelet from Rolex that you don't typically see, and of course the concealed folding crown clasp as well, holding it all together. So if you're interested in this watch or any other watch for the lowest possible price, check out our website, Jaztime.com. We have the lowest prices guaranteed, and if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at Jaztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jaztime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.